Now, if you do choose to come on the air, what you're going to need to do is turn off the stream or pause it or mute it, or else it will be in the background delayed along with what you say on the mic, and it'll get really weird, like 7 levels of Inception weird. So we don't want that either. You know those infinity mirrors where you look in there and there's like Christmas lights inside it and they go into infinity because the mirror's got one-way mirror glass in front of the lights? And you can look down into the tunnel of lights. They are cool. Everybody loved them in the 70s and 80s. And you would look into those infinity mirrors and the lights would just go forever. Well, so that's what happens when you have audio from a radio broadcast on and you get on the radio broadcast at the same time. Which is why when you call into radio stations, they're like, please turn off your radio when you call in on the phone. And you always hear them yelling at people, turn off your radio. It's because we'll hear ourselves 20 seconds later. Yeah, I'm in 640 by 380 on the scaled mode already. I knew that one, Rondon. Thank you. My stats are looking really clean now. I'm looking pretty good on drop frames and stuff. It should be improving a lot. I'm going to go check those settings that he's talking about just to make sure. I wish that some of my other show hosts were here seeing this as well. Yeah, I can't change the scaled resolution, but there might be a problem. One more drop might improve things again, so bear with me. Well, it doesn't want to let me change those settings right now, so I'm just going to keep going. I've dropped the feed and restarted it. We will get this worked out. I am back. So, basic Fortran COBOL. Come on, Rondon, you forgot the classics. Underground has dropped into the room. So it looks like a lot of people are going to listen here in the SteemStar Discord. I am going to have to get with you. Morning, Underground. I'm going to have to get with you, Rondon, and run some testing in the overnight window when no one's paying attention to us. And I'm, of course, grateful for your help and always willing to help in return. So those of you that know I came from the station Rondon and Main Event work at now may wonder, you know, how it's going with a new station, right? So, to be honest, we're not competitive. We're friends, and we expect to work together. In fact, there's a couple shows on MSP Waves that may syndicate and also run on SteemStar Network. One in particular I'm thinking of that's already talked about doing so. In the meantime, you can check out the shows we do have on the SteemStar Network over at steemstar.net/schedule, and you will find that Sundays are a big day. A lot of our hosts wanted to kick off on Sundays. I don't know if all of those shows will start today or next Sunday. We've been doing that last-minute cleanup, touch-up, button-up, launch prep stuff here at SteemStar Network. And I have Lena DR with Cryptids, Mysterious Creatures and Monsters, Monsters and Mysterious Creatures. That'll be an interesting show, kind of old Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, In Search Of show with ancient mysteries and things about Bigfoot and Loch Ness monsters and aliens and ghosts and pyramids and unicorns and elves and fairies and all the things. That'll be Lena DR's show in the afternoons. Beans with the Voices of the Underground. Shadows Pub on Thursdays does 2 shows, and they are separate shows, not a rerun. She does a morning and an evening edition of Pimp Your Post Thursday over in the Steam at Ramble, which is extremely popular, and many of you have participated in that. She has 40 and 50 people at a time show up. Each one gets to take a moment and talk about their latest post and give the link to everyone and share it. So that's a curation show on Thursdays that runs twice. Sir Lunch, the host, has joined us here in the channel. Sir Lunch is our newest host on SteemStar Network. Let me unmute him. What's up, Sir Lunch? I don't know if you were planning to say something today. If you want to talk about the show you've got coming up on SteemStar Network next Saturday, that would be cool. If you want to, if you've got your mic and headphones and gear ready, and if you're just here to listen, just let me know in chat what you want to do or speak up.
To be on the network, and yes, next Saturday I will have my show. I know the majority of you used to hear me on the Bo2 podcast, but I'm letting Beans run that, and she's doing rather well. It's becoming a little bit of a political scene, and I like that. But the Crypto Struggle podcast is what I'm calling it. It's going to be about entertainment, drama, and all the fun stuff. but at the end of the show, it's always going to be about unity. So yeah, and this is going to be me, trying something new. Because again, if anyone was there with me for the vote you know that I started that, and that was a great time. And we used to ask a whole bunch of masturbation questions and great stuff. And we're going to be talking about gaming crypto fixer. I'm actually glad you said that because I'm a huge gamer. So there's going to be segments on there where we talk about the newest games coming out. I get people together and we probably live stream during the show, just stuff like that. But yeah, and I'm taking over Saturdays. He only gave me 2 hours. I'm gonna go for 6 hours. 2 hours of radio, 4 hours of great music that I produce. Then I'm gonna get back.
Dude, do you really want to go 6 hours, Lunch?
If let me get all my music together, and yeah, I'll do a 2 hour thing, and then I'll do a music block, and then come back on. I'm game for that.
Yeah, man. So to any of you that want to be a host on the SteemStar Network, just get with me right now, and I'm going to be getting some other staff that can help you onboard as well. It's real easy. I've built some automation in so that you can be a broadcaster fairly simply on the network and participate in the live stream with the other hosts. Lunch, if you want to do a long show or more than one show, we've got 84 2-hour slots per week to fill. And currently I have half a dozen DJs doing, in some cases, a couple shows, in some cases, one show. Some shows are long, like this one. So there's all kinds of opportunity. The big thing we ask for is consistency, meaning that you show up every week and fill your slot. If you sign up, show up. And number two, that you do something entertaining, because people are going to come and listen to you, and we want some quality on the station, some entertainment, education, information, news, interviews, gaming stuff, whatever it is that you're about. We've got space for you on the network at some point during the day, and we'd love to get you on the air. And I'm not constraining you to 2 hours by any means, but that's kind of the minimum we look for to get a show on, get an audience, get it worked up, get engagement going, have a nice conversation, and then wind down. So 2 hours, 1 hour, you don't, by the time you get started, your audience is just getting there. So you want to allow for the fashionably late. So Lunch, yes, Lunch the host on Saturdays with the Crypto Struggle podcast. We're starting to get some quality talent around here. Sir Lunch, what else have you been doing in the Steemit environment? Are you just on Votu? Has that been your focus? I know you're a blogger, and you're doing some other interesting things for Steem and Steemit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your travels and whatnot?
I started off with the Votu podcast. And we ran that for a while. They got hugely successful and stuff. And then I decided I was going to do vlogging, so I kind of retired. And then Beans kind of kept it going. And then I ended up doing vlogging, and that took off. And then I've always done music since I started Steemit. So I've always been awesome. Produced 9 albums, 10 albums so far for Steemit, and all paid for with Steem and all that good stuff. And currently I'm starting, I've made 4 games for the platform as well. Let me throw that out there. But now I'm working on 2 cartoons, one that's geared towards children and one that's geared towards adults. And the Vloggers Guild, of course, we've been kind of slow. That's because I've been busy. But once we get on the radio, I'm going to get all my Vloggers Guild people in there, and we're going to be having fun. So yeah, I've been doing a cartoon. I'm trying to get people involved.
Started breaking up after get people involved, and you're falling apart. That might be me. I said right after you said I'm trying to start to get people involved, you started getting really cranky. I don't know if you let go of your press to talk button or just want to let go of it now and then and restart it. Discord doesn't like long press to talks, I've noticed.
Nah, it's all good. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get people more involved. I'm also trying to show people the way if they want to be a podcaster, vlogger, entertainer, whatever. Now's the time. And my overall goal, as always, is trying to show everyone that they can live off of crypto, because that is the dream. Oh, watch out for Coinbase. Trying to fuck you guys over.
West Coast representing Coinbase, trying to fuck you over. Let's explore that for a minute. Many of us use Coinbase.com to purchase Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum, the 3 coins they represent, and use credit cards or PayPal to do so here in the United States. Then we're able to buy Bitcoin, or go on the market and trade it for Steem or SPD, which we can easily move back into Steemit. Now, I've been doing this by buying Bitcoin on Coinbase and moving it into Steemit through block trades as well, instead of through Bittrex because it's a tiny bit cheaper, or so it appears. But why don't you tell me what you mean, Sir Lunch? Why is Coinbase trying to screw us over?
So basically, Coinbase is not looking at the people who put money in and bought cryptocurrency. You're looking at people who sold over $20,000 worth of cryptocurrency and transferred it to a bank or whatever. Currently, I think there's auditing people from 2013 to 2015. So people now kind of have like a comfortable space to get ready to pay those taxes. But yeah, I feel like in a year or two, they're going to catch up after that backlog and get everyone from these most current years. So yeah, I mean, right now it's only people from 2013, 2015, but that's a very striking warning to us who, didn't make money those years to get ready to pay taxes. And shout out to people who don't want to pay taxes. Like, look, if you took the money out of the crypto space and used it in, the real world, then you got to pay taxes, right? You got on your car to drive on the road, to go to the store. Those roads got to be paved, so you got to pay a little bit of taxes. Now, what you can argue on is how much. What you can argue on is how much taxes you should have to pay on your crypto.
All right, that's totally accurate. I knew I could count on you to talk long enough for me to hit my blunt and choke on it for about 5 minutes. Excuse me. We're not proud. Speaking of taxes, let's talk about taxes for a second. So, one of the reasons why I started You Are Hope is to do humanitarian aid work all over the world. Excuse me. Boy, goodness, this is some tasty Washington State legal marijuana that was deposited into my personal holdings by a brother-in-law that used to be married to one of my sisters and isn't anymore. He came to visit and he brought the most amazing gift, an ounce of Washington State legal pharmaceutical grade marijuana. I love it. So anyway, here I am, baked and talking to you on the radio and not even gonna hide it. Let's talk about taxes. My roads. Who would build the roads? Well, we would. Just like we're building a blockchain-based, fully transparent, fully accountable, fully community-driven, fully love-generating You Are Hope Foundation humanitarian aid thing. So, here's the deal with taxes and where that connects. By doing our Worldwide Aid Foundation on the blockchain using a cryptocurrency, we're avoiding getting involved with government regulation in any country. We're avoiding getting involved with restrictions on donations. We're involving, there's one drawback is that people who make a donation to us can't claim it as a deduction on their taxes in the United States because it's not a fiat currency transaction in the first place. But part of the benefit of that is that we can move money all over the world in small amounts, microtransactions almost, quickly. I mean, we all know how the blockchain works and how moving money works on Steem, right? So when I send 10 SBD, just a small amount, to Rini, Melos 10 in Venezuela, and he uses that 10 SBD to go buy flour, cheese, and the various things necessary to make Latin arepas, which are like a pancake with cheese in them, for lack of a better explanation, then deliver them to homeless people all over his city in San Cristobal. 10 SBD feeds 25 homeless people a meal for a day. He can whip that up in the morning, be on the street in the afternoon feeding people with money that I got a donation for that morning into the You Are Hope account from some generous member of the community on Steem. Somebody goes ahead and, oh, you muted yourself, I think, Sir Lunch, or it muted you automatically when you stopped talking. Hold on. Wow, somehow you got muted by the server. I just need to undo that setting. I'll get all these things figured out. Give me a minute. Live radio, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, we don't have taxes involved with Steem. We don't have to worry about government regulation. We have a blockchain charity where you can examine every transaction we make, and I can explain why I made every single one as I control the account. But in the end of the day, you could make a donation right now during this radio show when I say go, 1, 2, 3, donate. And I receive that donation and can pass it immediately to Mr. Akpan in Lagos, Nigeria, or Samus, who is currently, as you know, some of you know, in a hospital, who was recently mugged in Nigeria, one of our favorite Steemitizens, or to Melos Tin in Venezuela, or Nietzsche in Puerto Rico, or Jay Senejay in the Philippines, or Beans, or any of the Philippines people. And what I can do is get money to people instantly that you donated moments ago. They can be at a store buying food, shoes, school supplies, clothing, whatever's necessary for the effort we're working on at that time within hours. You know, it's delivered to the end user in the country that's dealing with the economic crisis or the depression or the poverty or the malnutrition or the hunger or whatever that we're combating with our efforts. So,
And remember to always, always do your own numbers on your taxes. People.
yeah, totally.
Yep.
It may be strenuous and it may take a little bit of time, but it's always better to know exactly the numbers than having someone else run the numbers, because you already know they're taking a big chunk of your money.
He's right, man. Taxes suck. Taxes, you know, the meme is taxation is theft, but I'm going to take this opportunity to point out what most of us realize and don't always say. Taxation is theft, but it's really extortion. Extortion is defined as having money taken from you by coercion, okay? Or having something taken from you by coercion. It may not be money. Anyway, coercion means potentially at gunpoint, as is the case with the heavily armed IRS. Or whatever form of government control is happening in your country or locale. So coercion sucks, and theft sucks, and redistribution of wealth that is not within your control sucks. I run a charity. I'm redistributing wealth, that word, I'm moving money around all the time. And that's what I do. I try to build up a cash flow of income for the charity with donations and delegations. I try to use that cash effectively around the world to help the most people for the least money. And I try to avoid regulation, oversight, and control from external sources that don't have our best interests at heart, and let that control come from the community that sees the blockchain, that comes to me and says, Cork, why are you buying Minnow Booster votes? Well, because I can take a $10 donation and turn it into $18 that way. So I'm doing that to build up the cash flow. If you don't like that, let's talk about it. Maybe I can find a better way. Nonetheless, you know, I'm always happy to talk about the transactions and so on. So I don't need the federales to come breathe down my neck. And the small tax deduction you're going to get, you don't want to report because you don't want to tell them you've got $20,000 in cryptocurrency. Trust me, you don't. You do not want anyone to know that. It's a little weird how it's transparent. Not, you know, it causes some of the problems we have here on the chain with the rich versus the poor. But at the end of the day, we all want the chain to succeed. We don't necessarily want our governments to succeed. And foundations like You Are Hope, or the Papillon charity, or the Surfer Marley initiative, I can't remember the name of it, with the waves and the children and the surfing, or other business type things like Utopian.io with Elir. These things are how we're going to skirt around the idea that corporations are people and the federal government is against the people and all the things, and do things our way. So I'm glad you brought up taxes, Lunch. And I appreciate you grabbing that mic for me while I hit my blunt. Now you've had time to hit yours. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Man, the only thing is, at the end of the day, just when you're pulling out money or dealing with crypto, always put a little bit to the side for those rainy days, whether it be taxes, whether it be Coinbase or Davetrex getting frozen up. I predict a lot of this stuff going to happen in 2018. A lot of crypto is going to be exchanged, and people are going to be just wanting to hold it. So there's going to be just a lot of dumb shit. So just have a safety net of like maybe, I don't know, anywhere from $500 to like $5,000, because I know that's a lot for the majority of us. Also, invest a little bit into Bitcoin right now and just let it sit. And as Bitcoin grows, whatever you just put into Bitcoin will just grow. And at the end of the year, you can pull that out. That'll be a nice little check there. So my advice to everyone is have a little bit of money on the side saved for that just in case, and you should be okay.
That
Agreed. It's 20% capital gains tax. A lot of people don't know that. So whatever you're taking out or doing, or that's going to be on file somehow with all the exchanges, which one by one is, they're all doing the same thing. They're going the Coinbase. Don't forget the 20% capital gains minimum, just to keep in your little.
So I'm not much of a tax-oriented person. In fact, I actually had to get a lawyer to undo about 10 years of not filing. I paid. It was taken out of my salary at all my jobs and everything. But I didn't file. I just didn't file. Long story. It cost me thousands of dollars to undo that and solve that problem and get those filings done in retro and get it all sorted out. So I'm not one to be a big fan of taxes, taxation, dealing with taxes, doing my taxes, caring about taxes. If I can take it out of my check, and I'll ignore like I ever never had that money. But beyond that, I'd rather they didn't exist. I'd rather spend my money on the charities, causes, needs, and things that I believe in. And so the question always comes up from those people who like big government and taxes, who would build the roads? And Rondon posted the funniest little statement from Larkin Rose, popular alleged libertarian, although he's not a very good libertarian in some people's opinion, but I like Larkin okay. He's generally not an idiot. And he put this quote in that I'm going to read for those of you not watching the chat room here. But who will build the roads if there were no government? You mean to tell me that 300 million people in this country and 7 billion people on the planet would just sit around in their houses and think, gee, I'd like to go visit Fred, but I can't because there isn't a flat thing outside for me to drive on and I don't know how to build it. And the other 300 million or 7 billion people can't possibly do it because there aren't any politicians and tax collectors. If they were here, then we could do it. If they were here to boss us around and steal our money and really inefficiently build the flat spaces, then we would be set. Then I would be comfortable and confident that I could get places. But I can't go to Fred's house or the market because we can't possibly build the flat space from A to B. We can make those really small devices that enable us to contact people from all over the world that fit in our pockets. We can make machines that we drive around in. But no, we can't possibly build a flat space. Larkin Rose. Who would build my roads? I love it. Good quote, Rondon. Good catch.
I think what'll end up happening, right, is if you took all the governments away and then you had people build their own roads, slowly but surely they would build their own government to go find a group of people to build the roads, and then taxes would arise once again. Because I think what it is there's always going to be a group of people who don't want to build the roads, and so they're going to make themselves the group of people to find the other group of people to build the roads. And that's when those people that have to build the roads are going to want to pay, and that's when those lazy people are going to say, all right, we're going to tax the people who use these roads. So I think eventually it always will just come to that kind of formula either way, because there's always going to be a group of people who doesn't want to do something.
Point, counterpoint. I agree with you. There's always going to be a group of people who don't want to do something and they're willing to pay money to have other people do it. I don't think that necessarily automatically concludes in a government. What I think it does conclude in my anarcho-capitalist point of view, extreme bottom right of your political graph, right? All the way over right, but not in the weird Aryan nation hate people, right? Just the one that's like fiscally conservative and pretty traditional in values like marriage and stuff. But then down at the bottom, I tend to fall on the economic side of like, you get yours and I'll get mine, and there's room for both of us, and I'll help you and you help me. It'll be all cool. We don't need a government, right? And just stay off my lawn and I'll stay off yours. You know, private property rights, copyrights, trademarks, all these things come into play. But when it comes down to it, I think that roads need to exist. And so Group A, who's willing to go build shit, will say, I'll build you a road for 20 bucks. And Group B, who's willing to pay for shit, will go, shit, yeah, that's a bargain. Here's 20 bucks. I need a road. And Group B guy number 2 is like, well, I don't go to Fred's house. I never go to Fred's house. I'm not giving you 20 bucks. It's like not allowed on the road. Big deal. So they're more like toll roads that are run by, you know, enterprising individuals or companies. And I'm totally cool with that. I'll pay for the roads I want to go on and not the ones I don't. Because when you work out the volume of cost of a road, I lived on a dirt road half a mile long for 5 years, and we talked about paving it. That's a private driveway. Paving that road would have cost about $50,000. I'm sure I made 50,000 trips up and down that road into, 5 years, And so if I was paying other people, or excuse me, if other people were paying me to go up and down this half-mile of road, and I charged them a penny off an electronic device on their car that's preloaded every time they go, I'd probably make my 50,000 cars back, or 500,000 cars back in a few months, or whatever, depending on how popular my road is. The point is, I'm just making this shit up right now, but there would be people who would figure out how to build a road, toll you for it, like the Greenway in Dulles Airport area of Virginia, which is a toll road, or the Sun Passes in Florida, and I'm sure other parts of the world. You stick a thing on your windshield, it's a sticker. It's RFID, and when you cruise through their toll gates, they deduct 8 cents or 4 cents or 60 cents or whatever, depending on how far you're going and what road you're going on and all that shit. There's ways to charge for roads and get them done. There'll be companies that finance building them against future earnings on the road. Fuck government. We can do it without them.
A government by the people, for the people. With no sense.
Just enterprise, man. Free market, dude. I need a road, so I'll build you a road, man. $20, man. Okay, man, I'll pay for that road. Cool, and then we'll charge people. Hallelujah. Everybody's happy. I don't go on that road. I've never paid for that road. I don't care about that road. Not my road, not my monkeys. But the ones I do go on, sure, sign me up for the electronic pass that another company makes for a profit. And everybody's good, man. And what do I do for a living? I work at the electronic pass manufacturing company or the road making company. And I still don't have a government in this conversation taking money from me to do it inefficiently for too much money. So much chop. I'm going to have to get a better internet connection before next week. I really think that's what it's boiling down to. But hopefully you got the gist. Free enterprise, free markets. Those are what will make it happen. If you have an opposite view, let me know what it is. In the meantime, if you want to jump in and say something, let me know what it is. And if you want to run around and try to round up some more people to join us, do that too. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about Discord hosts? Yeah, that's possible. So watch on YouTube. We have a YouTube live feed up right now. Has anybody tried the YouTube feed yet? The YouTube feed is running. You can get the link at SteemStar.net, top left side of the page. It'll take you to the profile on YouTube where you can start the live feed. And if you are possible to try out YouTube, give me a hand with that and let me know how that feed is working for you. We'll determine if it's Discord, Twitch, YouTube, my website, or what. Hello, Nate. Nate Navarez is here, ladies and gentlemen. The guy with so many N's in front of his name, it's hard to say. Navarez is here. Hi. How you doing, buddy? Hola. If you're in a stream, you're on delay. If you're in Discord, you'll hear me in real time. But I'm trying to say, hola, mi amigo. He's not coming back. I'm reading about crypto-fueled Teslas over in the chat. I would like an electrically fueled car that just pays the tolls on the roads that my friends built, and I'm happy to pay them for in my future Ancapistan dream of anarcho-capitalism America. Funny how I'm capitalist on one side and running the world's first blockchain-based international charity on the other side. But that's what I think is possible in our future. I think it is possible to be beneficial for the world, altruistic and philanthropic, while being completely capitalist with, say, a radio station designed to make a profit, which in turn it will share with the charity foundation. It's all a dream. Lift the band hammer. Damn it, let me try to make that global. Why does it keep blocking you out? You got it, Sir Lunch. You should be open mic.
Way out of that tax thing, right? So you just have to start a non-profit company, right? Foundation or whatever, and then just report it as taxes later. Whoa. Or something like that. I don't know.
Taxes. These taxes have got to go, man.
For sure. And what's up? I was going to say what's welcome. What's up and welcome at the same time. All right, I'll just say, what's welcome, Navarez.
What's welcome? Our new word on the station. What's welcome? What's up, man?
That's a new word.
Yeah, Nate Navarre is another witness in France, but Venezuelan. Big supporter of our work in Venezuela here in You Are Hope. Good dude. Helped me make this server in the early days. A month ago when I was trying to figure out how to make my first Discord server by myself. He had done it before, and we set this up. He's muted now. I'm still trying to unmute the whole world here, but let me unmute you, Nate. Nathaniel. Hold on. Yeah, you're not server muted. You've muted yourself, actually, sir. But if you want to join us and say hello as one of the witness co-hosts dropping by today, thank you for coming.
I was going to say to anyone on a side note, if you're ever thinking about podcasting or doing some kind of radio show, I'm looking for a host. So reach out to me and we can talk. And if the synergy's awesome, we can do it together.
Oh, you're talking about a co-host, Sir Lunch? Sir Lunch.
What's up, Court?
Are you looking for a co-host for your show?
Yes, yes.
And it'd be great if, and you don't really care about like gender, country, politics, or do you want to find somebody who aligns with you in certain areas on anything that you'd want to mention?
I want someone who's like the complete opposite. I don't care male or female, but their views have to be just complete opposite of mine. But we have to have synergy, right? So we have to be able to disagree, but then laugh about it at the end of the show. And that's what creates the most beautiful pieces of work.
All right, I think I've managed to make you talk long enough that I was able to change the settings where everyone should be able to speak now. And I'll ride like that. Now, if you're already muted, I'll have to unmute you or you've muted yourself. But I'm going to ride like this until somebody screws it all up for everybody, and then I'll go back to muting everyone on demand.
It's still choppy. I'm afraid to leave to get the band hammer again, though.
No, I've turned off the band hammer, I think. And what it is I'm trying. This is normally a listen-only room, right? So the stream is on. It's other hosts. It's not me. They're not even in the Discord. And so you would just listen in here. And Rondon's going to help me set it up right tonight. I had thought I had it all good until I realized I couldn't talk to people, have them talk to me, and stream the station into the same room. So I have to figure that out.
No worries. No worries at all.
Now I'm just trying to make sure everybody's unserver muted.
Yeah, Rondon is on like every radio. Shout out to Rondon.
Rondon is the bomb. And, you know, it's funny, when I met him, I just asked him a Linux question one day back in June. And he's like, I know a little bit about that. I'm like, great, you're hired. He now runs the entire MSP Waves engineering and shows and everything about the place, really. And I'm just so proud of what I've watched him learn over the last 5 months on his own. I'm not proud of helping him. I just started him. But what he's done with it has been amazing. And now I turn to him for help. Like, he's totally figured this broadcast stuff out. All right, so now if you're muted on your own. I have unmuted everybody. You're welcome to join in the conversation. Welcome to Steemitizens on Steem, first edition on SteemStar Network. It is 10:15 a.m. By the time we got the audio kind of crumbling along, it was 9:16 a.m. when I looked at the clock and it kind of officially started this broadcast. So we're running 15 minutes behind schedule for our first day, first show, first time ever on SteemStar Network. I can live with that. I'm so glad to see you guys. Battle Axe, Crypto Fixer, Nate Navarez, Poetic Snake, Sir Lunch the host, Steemit Graven, Rondon, Main Event. Thank you all for coming by. Anybody else who's listening who's not where I can see you in the audience channel or the SteemStar Network voice channel, I'm so glad you're out there. I have not left this window to go look at any kind of statistics and see how many listeners we have on Twitch, for example. Drop the YouTube link, he said. Does that mean the YouTube link dropped? Don't use it? Screw YouTube? I'm going home? What do you mean there, Greg? Oh, drop the YouTube link. Every link you need is on SteemStar.net. Just remember SteemStar.net. And one of the reasons why I'm not giving you the YouTube link directly is because with YouTube Live, you have to have 10,000 views before you can get a vanity link. And before that, every single time that the stream disconnects, it gives a new numeric link. And so it would change if I had to stop and drop or if my internet connection glitched or something like that. So go to SteemStar.net. That'll take you to the one place at YouTube that's permanent, which always has the latest live stream on it for you to go and see. It's 2 clicks away. So SteemStar.net, YouTube. Yeah, see, you dropped it anyway. Oh, that's the channel link. Good call, Rondon. The channel link will never change, but the live stream direct link will. So until we have 10,000 views on YouTube for this new account, I won't be able to make it be youtube.com/SteemStar yet. So that takes a while. You've got to be popular to get popular. The rich get richer. Fucking centralized controllers. Fucking governments. All right. Anyway. Thank you for dropping the link, Rondon. So. Battle Axe. I saw you go green there. Did you want to add something?
Was that to me, bro?
I'm asking anybody, but I mean, everyone's welcome to speak as long as we're kind and polite and share the speaking floor. That's what this whole radio show is about. It's not about me talking for 6 hours. It's about me talking with you for 6 hours, dear listeners. So I'm running through these 15 notifications. I have a bot that tells me when I get posts and resteams and links and comments and upvotes and downvotes and whatever I get. I have a bot. I just got some stuff coming in. Just making sure nobody's looking for the show and can't find it. Nope, just love.
I'm probably going to do another blast of the article and promo for here in a second.
Great. Don't get yourself cheated. Make sure you change a word or two. Speaking of cheated, other witnesses are going to drop by. So this is one of those shows. I just want to explain Steemitizens on Steem. So the idea is that I've talked to a bunch of witnesses. I'm in contact with basically all of them through the witness channels. But there's several that I talk to frequently, and there's about 7 or 8 who have agreed to drop into these radio shows on Sunday mornings and just be available, right? Just kind of hang out. We've got Mr. Navarez here who hasn't unmuted himself and isn't speaking for some reason, although I have spoken to him by voice before, and I don't know why he's choosing not to speak now. He has family and children. Maybe it's a weird hour of the day in France. But anyway, at the end of the day, everyone is welcome to speak. Witnesses who will be joining the show and dropping by to have coffee with us and enjoy each other's company include some of the ones you see on the list of 7 in this server now. Anarcho Andre, Guilty Parties, Madiari, Navarez, Patrice of Steam Cleaners, and that's why I remembered to list the witnesses off. Swelker 101, also known as Shane, Team Steam. These are great people who believe in You Are Hope and have agreed to, as a kind gesture, join us for coffee on Sundays, sometime between 9 and 2, or 1:30 actually, when Votu comes on. Voices of the Underground comes on. And they're just going to drop in and hang out. So you can ask them questions. They may ask you questions. And you're welcome to ask each other questions. Does anybody in here have a post they're really proud of that they'd like to share with us, either of their own or that they think is important and should be seen by everyone? And I see that Mr. Navarez is private messaging me, so let me take my finger off the press to talk button and go see what he's saying. Or he can bring it over to the SteemStar audience channel if it's not private, and that'd be a lot easier. Let me see. Twitch is running better than YouTube. Yeah, Twitch is better usually, for sure. Oh, yeah, Mr. Navarez is having trouble with the stream over in France. So, yeah, we're going to work on that. We're going to make it better. It's hard to do on the fly. No one is running away. So I got to assume some of what we're saying is getting out. So I don't know what's going on. It's got to be individual or something I can improve for all of us. I'm not sure.
I think it has to be Discord because Discord. I mean, when I stop Discord and restart it, it works for a minute and then it starts getting choppy again.
Yeah, SteemStar.net, which has a player right on the homepage, which is Twitch based, is your best place to listen. If you want to talk with me, you'll need to turn that off and come in here to Discord. Now, in Discord, we're talking to each other without any of my equipment. So this is straight Discord issues in a one-to-one on Discord. Well, that's good to know, Greg, that everybody but me. Well, shit. Why don't y'all just talk to each other then? Have a great time. I'm fine with that. I got a big doobie here to smoke.
My name is Sir Quark, and I'm working viciously hard to bring you all together to make not a competitive station, but a friendly station. Glue is competitive in business. We've got a lot of talent, and just say that I'm damn good at what I do. You know,
Are you mocking me? Are you mocking me? Because you were doing it pretty well, actually. That sounded like what I would say.
I'm just giving you props, Sir Quark.
So, yeah, I think you're going to be a wonderful host to have on Saturdays, and I want you to run all day, man. Just take control. We'll have to figure out Friday night and Saturday night events. Audience, what do you want to hear and see on SteemStar Network? It's brand new. We've got half a dozen shows lined up with some killer hosts like Top K-Pop and Lena DR and Beans and Sir Lunch the host and myself and Shadows Pub. But what do you want? What?
Oh, it's beautiful.
These people don't talk, man. Like I give them a forum. They're all like, I want to talk. And they send me messages. I can't wait till Sunday. I want to talk. And now they get here and they're scared.
Shameless promotion cartoon I'm working on. If you guys ever found yourself being the voiceover type, hit me up. I'm making more characters. West Coast.
West Coast.
I would love that. I would absolutely love to do that.
Hit me up in DM, yo. Basically, I'm also going to be airing this on the SteemStar Network. Going for that Adult Swim feel, guys. I got a couple cartoons that I'm doing, and I'm doing some bumps and commercials and stuff like that. So,
any other shameless plugs? Anybody out there got projects? Nate, apparently you cannot hear us very well. But Mr. Navarez is a witness. He is a Spanish-speaking witness. If you're wanting to speak some Spanish, he's your man. I've had to call him in here at times to help me translate with some of our other Latin friends who popped in on You Are Hope. Grateful to him for that. Vote his witness if you support growth in Latin communities, supporting bringing Latin users to Steam, and a good solid technical background in your witness because he's a career technical engineering architectural type of dude like myself. Good dude. Like him. Known him a while. Hi, UniWisp. Welcome. Thank you for joining. That's the other thing is people will be dropping in and out throughout the day, so don't feel like you have to sit here for the whole thing. Go get a cup of coffee, have a donut, play a level of your favorite game, and then come back. You know, UniWisp, did you want to say anything today to the people? Introduce one of your latest posts. Tell us about your Scotch blog, your work on MSP Waves. We're equal opportunity. You can promote your own show on another network.
Hello. Oh, awesome sauce. Well, hi. Yeah, I'm UniWisp. And I do have a Scotch blog. That's the main kind of thing that I write on a regular basis. Although it's been pretty sparse these days, I'm actually needing to write another one today. But it is the journey of trying to find the perfect Scotch instead of trying to find the perfect partner. And I personify the Scotches and take them out on dates to meet them. And it's quite a saga that has unfolded in the past, I don't know, 16 months, I guess. So if that interests you at all, you should come check it out. Otherwise, I do the emotion integration show, and I talk a lot about emotions, and I write poetry, and hopefully I will start writing fiction sometime in the near future, but that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else?
Yes, there are other things. First of all, the blogs she writes about Scotch, which she blew right through the description of, are fascinating because you not only learn about Scotch, but they are fun to read. It's not like reading a recipe or something. She does personify them. It's like, well, this lad had a decent tone with me, but he was rather rude at the end. You know, it's pretty fun to read that stuff. And then, like, her next thing that she said is that she does an emotions integration show on MSP Waves, and then blew right through that. I was like, I talk about emotion stuff. To be more clear and fair to yourself, UniWisp is like certified, trained in a thing that she's going to explain because I always get it wrong. And it's more than just talking about emotions and stuff. It's actual education. So UniWisp, describe what your professional sort of cert background is there.
Thanks, Cork. So my license is in something called dynamic emotional integration. It's not therapy or counseling or anything in that specific realm. I was licensed by the woman who created the work, named Carla McLaren. She wrote 2 books, Language of Emotions and Art of Empathy, which talks a lot about her work. And she developed this research-based approach to understanding emotions, and there are 17 specific ones that are explained. Each has a unique purpose, and it brings gifts and energy and wisdom with it. And the problem isn't the emotions themselves, just that we've never been taught how to work with them or what their messages are or how to understand them. So once we can do that, then we can integrate them with each other and fully into our lives in a way that improves our lives overall. It gives us better information, helps us make better decisions, allows us to be able to handle the emotions instead of become overwhelmed by them or suppress them and cause all sorts of issues with that route as well. So yeah, it's fascinating work, and it's, you know, like an onion, many layers. There's always more to learn about it. The more you learn about the emotions and apply it to yourselves, the more you kind of unravel and realize and make different connections, and the better you get at working with all of the separate emotions in themselves. So yeah, thanks for the vote of confidence there.
Well, I mean, you were like, oh, we just talk about emotions and stuff. It's not like, you know, an episode of Full House. It's like actual education. You know, so I want you to clarify that for everyone's sake, so they'll be interested in going over to MSP Waves and checking out your show, which, as I recall, is on like Tuesday afternoons or Thursdays. When is your show?
It's on Thursdays, 11 to 1 Eastern, 4 to 6 UTC.
Right, so we actually have some shows on Thursdays as well you could catch before and after that. And in the meantime, in between time, Rondon, are you still listening to me somewhere 3 minutes later? If so, you've got a project I'd like you to mention now called Freeze Peach. And Freeze Peach, which has the icon of a frozen piece of fruit, Freeze Peach, took me forever. He's like my best friend on the platform. We go way back to the very beginning. We've talked every day since I've been here, Rondon and I. We built projects together. We've done a lot of losing sleep over Steam together. I never really caught on to it until he was on my radio station, or on the old radio station, with Free Speech, that it's free speech. As in freedom of speech, frozen fruit, freeze peach, free speech. It took me a while to catch that pun. Anyway, Rondon, if you want to unmute yourself and tell us about the Freeze Peach project and what that is in your show, that'd be cool. Welcome, Pensive from Wales, my lad. How are you, waking up over there in Welsh land at, 3 in the afternoon? I'm talking like an Irish guy to a Welsh guy. Yeah, Beans loves the blog. Beans, feel free to mic up and join us here in the audio channel for real-time chatter. You are listening to the SteemStar Network. I am Sir Cork. I'm joined by other speakers today have been Battle Axe, Sir Lunch the host, Rondon the Clown, and UniWisp, who have all taken a turn at the microphone today. The microphone is open. Rondon, it looks like you unmuted. Tell us about Free Speech, brother.
Oh, man, it's just a place to, you know, say whatever you want without...
To talk about emotions and stuff?
Well, yeah, you know, emotions come up quite a bit in it because it seems to be emotions that are really the root of, like, the flagging issues and the, you know, it's when people can't reason and they can't talk and they can't have a discussion or engagement about something, and emotions run high, and that's where you start getting the conflicts. And so actually emotions do play a big part in the free speech debate.
Yeah, I would imagine that even if it doesn't start emotionally, it usually ends that way. Rondon, of course, radio broadcasting from inside the pressurized cabin of a 747, which is exactly what his mic feed sounded like to me. It had that sound like an airplane always seems to have in the background from the vacuum systems. Nara Daddy has just arrived. Dr. George from the Air Clinic, hashtag Air Clinic is in the house. I want people to introduce their projects. I want people to introduce a great post they've just done. I want you to tell us a problem with Steemit. I want you guys to take the microphones.
I did want to add, we talked about free speech radio, which really is just me every Monday night talking shit about the government and bringing up controversial topics. And really, I love playing out devil's advocate. I love when the audience plays devil's advocate, and I love viewpoints being challenged. And I also run a service called Free Speech. Now that service is completely different from the radio. It's something that I saw as a problem on Steemit when I first came here. And then I laid back and I read a bunch of old posts. We have the flagging debate on Steemit has been something that's existed since the beginning of Steemit. And there's been tons and tons of discussions and you know, different points of view on this subject. So what I noticed was the flagging issue, the demonetization of rewards, is actually a fundamental kind of it's a huge disincentive that some people might not be aware of how the ramifications that it actually has. The far-reaching ramifications of opinion flagging, in my opinion, are basically driving out what you don't like on the server, which we have to have at least some common ground. Like, we don't want plagiarism on the platform. We don't want, you know, we don't want spam, and we want people to add value. But when you start determining what is valuable to other people and what isn't, then not only do you deter the content bringers, you also deter the people who are voting for those content bringers that they like, that they want to reward. And so it's not even just a one-faceted approach on this. As far as we don't like that kind of content on this platform, you're deciding for everyone else who does like that content that they don't get to see it either. And right now, Steem is small enough to where the whales can feel like they can micromanage things and flag what content should be rewarded and what shouldn't be rewarded. But it's an actual problem that on the surface doesn't appear to be what it is. Thank you guys. We're at a point now where it's going to start causing stagnation on the platform itself. We're going to become a circle jerk. And there are places on the internet where you can see this in action. And it's not a place of growth. It's not a place of prosperity. And it's going to happen to Steemit if we don't address the issue of allowing engagement, allowing humor. If you've noticed, Steemit is not really the place to go find funny stuff. We find a lot, like maybe the inside jokes are, you know, and Steemit jokes.
Rondon.
Hey, I'm just telling it like it is.
I post funny stuff, so you can't find funny stuff somewhere on the platform.
Oh no, I'm not saying that there's nothing funny on the platform at all. There is funny stuff on the platform. No, I'm not saying there's nothing funny, but I'm just saying this is not the place to go to for funny. Like if you think, man, I want to go look up some funny stuff. Do you think Steam it right off the bat?
That's true.
Hello. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time zones that you guys are in. Over here in Nigeria, it's evening around 4 to 5 p.m. now. So we are in evening. Anyway, I'm Naira Daddy, but on my Discord channel, people know me as Dr. George, and I'm a medical doctor by training. When I came to Steemit in October, that was October 19th exactly. So when I came, I saw, I loved everything that was happening here, that was going on here. The people were nice and kind, Then it was a platform that, allowed us to give value. I saw many people doing many great things and building the community, going out there to reach out to people, going out there to get new members and all that. So I was now thinking, how am I going to contribute to this platform? I've actually done so many things, all in a bit to contribute. I started the Hawk Challenge. Like I noticed that there are so many minnows that come in, people that come in newly. No, they don't get noticed. They write good stuff. Some of them actually write good stuff, but nobody upvotes them. They get like 0 views, zero upvotes, and all that. So I decided, okay, why don't we encourage other minnows too to go out there and seek for good content, and we encourage them by rewarding them. So that was the idea of the Hawk Challenge, and started rewarding people. Though I had little, I was giving $5 and all that, but then at least people were getting involved, more encouraged to go out there and comment on other people's posts and all that. So I love that, and it wasn't just about saying, hey, nice post, hey, good post, hey, this one, but it was about like actually bringing value. Like when you read someone's post in totality and you can picture every line and you understand the person's viewpoint and you comment exactly what is coming to your mind and all that. So that was one of the things I did. Then now, of recent, there was an interview I went for on Steemit still. There's this lady, Ashley Kalila. She does Humans of Steemit. So I went on the show or platform or interview, and then I talked about being a medical doctor and all that, and people were really excited. So now I said, okay, why don't I use my profession on this platform and see how I'm going to give back to the community? In my class, I was able to do very well. I graduated. I was the best graduating student in my class. I finished 2014 exactly. So I was like, why don't I use some of this stuff that I have that I've studied for 6-7 years? Why don't I use it and actually help people's lives for free, for that matter, on Steemit? And I said, okay. I decided to start thinking about something. Then in the course of my thoughts and everything, I met another doctor, the Love Junkie. She's also a doctor on this platform, and she joined quite recently. So from there, we got talking about this, and the dream now became a reality. Then we got involved with Starch, HMI, and other persons who have been helping us to bring the dream to reality. So that was how Air Clinic was born. So Air Clinic is a platform that aims to decentralize healthcare. Decentralization of healthcare in the sense that we will be able to reach anyone, anywhere, all over the world, and provide accessible, quick access to healthcare. So we've been able to get a lot of persons. The community is growing every day. People are getting more involved. We've been able to meet a lot of health workers. Hello? Okay, we've been able to we've been able to get a lot of health workers, health professionals, and we are currently in the process of verification. What we now do is anyone that says, okay, I'm this, I'm that, we're going to verify, show us your certificates, do a picture with your face and the certificate and show us something, you understand? So we are not aiming to give shabby services or something because it's free. No, we are giving the maximum, the best care worldwide. Like there was some of the persons I've consulted, some clients I've consulted on the site. They've been very happy. Many of them have even reached on their blogs and all that. So we are going places with Air Clinic, and it's a global idea. We are even looking at a point where we can be able to decentralize it, can be able to have tokens for this. You can be able to, go worldwide. The way you have Uber, decentralizing transport system, the way you have Airbnb decentralizing the housing system. That's what we want to do with health, with Air Clinic. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to be able to, a client somewhere, maybe there's an emergency, the person doesn't have to start looking for an ambulance to go to the hospital. No, we will bring the hospital to them wherever they are. We'll have doctors all over the world that want to work, or healthcare workers or paramedicals that want to work. All we just need to do is this client just puts on the app, I am so and so, I have so and so illness, something, blah, 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 blah. Then we contact immediately. There should be like a way to contact the health workers and channel everybody. So someone that is already on call and waiting, once the person gets the call, he moves to that place together with his team and everything. So we are looking at being able to do some of these things in a very easy and accessible way. So what we are planning is actually beyond just the Discord community, but we are starting from the Discord community right now. So that's for you guys now. Also, we are looking for a lot of support. We need a lot of support. We need Steam power. We need Resteams. What we are doing here is, okay, just do little, walk away or something. No, this is eternity. We're actually building something that is going to outlast a lot of things. Some of these, a lot of things that people do and all that. But we are going to do this and make sure that it works out for good of everybody, both Steemians, non-Steemians. We are looking beyond Steemit. We are looking at the global atmosphere, and we are looking at being able to affect people's lives and also bring value to Steem, because it's this kind of projects that will be able to bring value to Steem. By the time you go out there, you are bringing health workers, you're telling them about Steemit, you're telling them about Steem blockchain, you're telling them about cryptocurrencies. They will be able to be inspired. They will want to join. They will want to become a part of it. Telling them, no, you don't even, as in, this is so easy. You don't even have to, I don't know, go sit in the hospital, calls, or you don't even do, just place your stuff on Air Clinic and we'll just connect you. And you get your clients, you go there, help people, and rewarded for it. So thank you guys for giving me the audience. I thank Psychoc, the witness. Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments or something they want to say? Saying hi to all the witnesses, Navis and other persons. Battle Axe, the lady, the powerful lady in the house, and Pensive and other persons I can see here. Salonge, the host. Beans, I've been hearing a lot about Beans. Patrice, Crypto Freaks, and Timid Graven. So I say hi to everybody. Any question and answer.
Listen to him. You should do your own talk show. I think everyone's like, voice.
No, thank you.
And thank you for the shout out. And I've been enjoying your channel and doing work with some of you guys off of here. And
I wanted to. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Navi.
Oh, brilliant. To comment on what Naira proposed, because it's
Thank you.
I think many of us, I myself count on these possibilities, and we're not realizing that right now. You can see what's happening in the markets. There's like the same. There's a fight right now. The dollar, Bitcoin. There's just seen a fight between the dollar and the Bitcoin, who want to use this platform for good. They're just financial boys. These are not necessarily on the pump and dump. They most likely in the pump and stay there. That's what when you trust the blockchain should be doing. The blockchain right now we're playing dirty money. I think it's the market with the Bitcoin seems to be stalled. There's money entering. There's still more demand than supply. So I think that is what's happening is the media is bringing new money in, but the dirty money is going out because of the soon to come regulations to the blockchain. Now up to us to trust this. Don't sell in panic. Don't play the market. We need to save this for the future. And once we have started that, we have gone through this, then we need to make the whales understand that they have the money and we have the ideas. So right now they should be exchanging. It is over with the Bitcoin and the dollar, or the correction is over, or whatever happens. What they need to do is to empower the people with the ideas, with the money they have, to bring those ideas and to support them. Because what happens right now, NIDA goes and does this, all this. I have in my Venezuelan Discord, I have also medical doctors, and they make hell of articles. And then when I'm curating, I see a fucking picture of a peanut with a payout of $3, which is like $300 equivalent. I mean, in Venezuela tag, a huge payout, a $3 payout is equivalent to a payout in a Steemit tag. Okay, so you have this stupid post with $3-4 because they're friends with the whales. People who has money, who has voting power, and they pay for, they get the vote. And you have medical doctors writing hell of a guides about health, about everything, and they're collecting those there, 11 cents, 10 cents, 30 cents. So what's happening right now is the whales have not understood that having money is not only having Steem or having whatever the fuck the token we're speaking about. It's not just a node, because this token needs to serve us to exchange for products, goods, and services. If that doesn't happen, if we're just hodling, and we're not making the capital circulate, and we're not supporting those initiatives, believing in people like Naira that want to bring medical advice to the platform, then we will see more peanut pictures being paid $10. See people like Naira with hell of with ideas that are game changing, leaving disappointed after trying. That's what I'm trying to change as a witness. I don't give a. I look at the code, I look at the blockchain, I look at the blah blah blah. But we need to make this bloody thing human. This thing is either an alternative for humans or is another scam. It is up to you to decide. Do you wanna be a scam, or do you wanna be one of the humans who change the world by believing in this? That's something I realized over this fucking weekend. I've been losing money trying to increase my stake in Steemit because I believe in this. I believe in this. Just last night I say the correction is coming. I sold my Bitcoin for US dollars, and 2-3 hours later I couldn't sleep. I just bought the thing back. I bought it cheaper and I put it on Steem. I didn't put the SBD is being pumped to death. I think the Steem will come up, and I'm trusting it.
Can I say something? Go or
Yeah, you can talk. You can talk. So.
Sorry, my push to talk is stuck. I have problems with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure, please, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say, I wanted to comment on what Naira was saying as well, because it was really interesting, and I noticed he said that medical care especially would be, the first thing we should decentralize. And it kind of got me thinking, like, the same question as the roads, who pays for the medical care. And then I thought, you've kind of answered the question, who pays for the roads, in an indirect way, because it's kind of like it's people who you could build a blockchain, right, that incentivizes people to pay for things that are good for the community by having the people who pay to build the roads actually make the money back from the roads by the people who use the roads, right? It is actually just a sort of a business run on a blockchain. So I kind of thought that idea Naira Daddy was talking about, the whole Airbnb being decentralized, the whole care, all these things, like, there are ways that you would just build a blockchain that would, bring the incentives to do these things, and the profits from people using those things would come back to the people who built them. It's simple as that.
Hi, I'm Patrice, otherwise known as Patricia, in my real life anyway. I am a big part of Steam Cleaners, and I run Spaminator and MacBot right now. It's very challenging, actually, trying to balance the workload between both of them. Unfortunately, a lot of times I spend more time with Steam Cleaners commenting and helping with replies to comments than I do finding plagiarism and other abuse. Spaminator is a lot more proactive. I'm actually going out and finding the spam, whereas Steam Cleaners, we heavily rely on reports from the community. There are days I spend 10, 16 hours here straight doing a lot of things, just juggling. And I'm trying to find some type of balance and some type of work schedule to be a bit more effective. I find some of it fun. The research and being able to take down accounts that spam, like Monitor Cap and that, I do really enjoy that. That part's kind of fun. The rest of it, dealing with the community on both sides of it, can be frustrating. Some people want us to go and flag everything, okay, just because they don't like it. And they don't understand that self-voting is not part of or Steam Cleaners. Just because somebody's self-voting, we can't go other type of abuse there. Then, of course, the other side is that, hey, I want my money back. There's dealing with that side of it, too. And it's not a lot of fun most days. I don't get a chance to play games very often. I haven't played Diablo 3 in probably 9 months. And I do enjoy playing video games, but this has kind of consumed me since I started and made it my full-time job. Currently, I'm doing this exclusively. Up until this last month, it wasn't really a concern money-wise, so I had been happy to do this full-time because like I do enjoy some of it. In the future, I may have to cut back my hours depending on how much support I get from the community to pay my bills. I hope not, because I'd rather be helping Steam and Steam it grow and keeping it clean from abuse. But no, currently this is my full-time job, and I'm grown. I've got an adult son, I've got 2 grandkids, and I don't have a lot of responsibilities outside of spending family time. So I do have the time to dedicate to this.
I want to know how the witnesses see the future of Steem being tied to Steem? Like, how much is the future of the Steem blockchain tied to Steemit right now? And I do know they're different. I'm fully aware that they're not the same, and we're talking about blockchain versus a company that's interfacing with the blockchain. But I think the question's still valid, so I just would like an answer.
Sure. I maybe if I can hit the right key. I think that Steemit Inc. Steemit.com is important to Steem, but it's not. How do I put this? If Steemit.com and Steemit Inc. disappeared tomorrow, I think that the blockchain and the initiatives that we have here, I think there's a lot of witnesses that have the programming ability and the vision to step up to the plate and continue on and to grow it into something just as successful, if not more successful.
I don't know how to describe how I feel about it. I'm rather new here. I'm only 2 months plus a few days into this platform. I put a lot of time into it. I put like 8, 9, 10 hours a day. And a lot of people don't even know there's a difference between Steemit and Steem. Don't even understand that there's other platforms. Don't even think about it like that. If Steemit says something, that's the same thing as their entire understanding of what the blockchain is and what their entire understanding of what it is that this community is. And so it just feels like they're just driving the bus wherever. They have a whole lot of SP. They have a whole lot of support, and I just feel like they're just taking us wherever they're going to take us, and we're just along for the ride, and we can maybe wonder about that.
If I may, really quickly, I think one way that we can kind of solve the issue is by putting out more information about the other projects that are on the Steem blockchain, so that people, because I mean, when people get to the blockchain, all they see is Steemit, right? If there was witnesses and just people in general advertising more often about the other projects, then I think more people would be willing and open to exploring those options rather than just coming, because they're just being funneled here in a way.
The show starts in 2 hours, is it? It's now 3 hours. And it's the voices of the underground. So we're basically talking about the things that you're not supposed to talk about. No, not really. We basically have constructive discussions about Steem politics, the way the Steem blockchain is built, and it can be about other cryptocurrencies as well. But it's generally, a discussion of ideas and how things work, how they could work better, and we get on whatever people want to get on to share their opinions. So we have our own Votu Discord server with a growing community there, and like 10-minute segments, but it'll be live today on SteemStars. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about basically the negative voting system, the system that was designed for policing, and the things that weren't implemented on the blockchain, like vote negation and stuff. So.
I love
really nice. You have a nice way of talking about your show. A nice way of just throwing out the words. This is SteemStar Network, and
I want to answer the Steemit Graven question if I'm still on time. Yeah, I think I got I got the pass. I don't know. Well, I don't know if you're listening to me. If you're listening.
Yeah,
okay, good, brilliant. How linked are we to Steemit.com? Is is in our hands. Come on, that's what we have not understood yet. We are using Steemit as clients, as customers. We are the owners of this. We are the owners of this, and as Sir Kirk said, and what we need, what only thing that Steemit Inc. is providing now, they created the Steem blockchain. They are creating the accounts because they only then have the money to delegate to new accounts. Well, we can do it if we try. There's also a trick for that. And they are providing the interface. But right now, the witnesses, when Stink started screwing with the site, when we have all this outage last month, every witness installed a condenser and provided a new entry point for a new domain name where you can check the Steem blockchain. Okay, so it is in our hands. We need to trust. We need to believe in the witnesses that are building interfaces, because they're splitting. There's a hard fork from Steemit.com to other places. We need to also be careful who are we going to trust, because most of these condenser things, they ask for active keys, which is the key for wallets. So it's a balance. We need to build communities. We need to build trust, because markets are trust and debt. And if we start giving weight to good projects that are steer us away from the dependence to Steemit.com, we will be better. We need the Steem, the blockchain code is open source. We can fork it whenever we want. we can take the control anytime we want. So a theory I have, some of the good whales, they just watch the witness votes. One of them is getting a shitload of a stake, or sending memos to Freedom and Pumpkin and licking the balls to get the witness vote. But I have this theory: what happens if 100,000 minnows vote for your witness with the 0.5 SP? I think that the good whales will see that this witness is having support from his community, from a shitload of people that doesn't have much to say, but they're important for the platform to grow. So those witnesses, those seemingly random votes, I don't know. I'm convinced there's at least two good whales hidden somewhere supporting people. There's people like ATS David. I don't know him personally, but out of the blue, he bought my witness. He never spoke with me. He never. He just monitors whatever happens in the witness channel, and he decides. There's people with stake that is trusting people who's steering this towards the good side, and it's in our hands as users to get involved, to support. And also, as Guilty Party said, he felt bad because someone was bringing medical aid and he just make Christmas cards. No, everyone has something to offer. And sometimes you say, I'm not going to vote because this is going to give just 0.0001 cents to this post. But you're giving the support. You're giving it notoriety. Everyone has something to offer, even if it's little. It's important. If everyone does its part, we can take control of the Steem blockchain as humans, a tool for building better opportunities for humanity. So today we are 200, 300% dependent on Steemit.com, on Steemit Inc. To change it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever we decide to take things in our hands and to really engage and to really collaborate, work together, and support people who's aiming, who's betting on a change for the better. Or we can let it in their hands, and the financial boys will take over, and we will just reproduce the outside world with the financial activities, with the pump and dump schemes that get all the money from the people who doesn't have anything, so so the rich people can be richer. So it is your choice. What do you want? If you know how to code, get in touch with the witnesses that don't have money. If you can help, whatever you can do, even if you don't want to get that much involved, at least do your part. Follow people, vote for them, even if a vote it's not worth much. But choose your tier 2 witnesses, and try to get engaged and involved into the direction the platform is taking. Don't be a consumer. Be part of the change. That's the bottom line message. Sorry, I'm off.
Well, Sir Cork, that was a beautiful speech, Navarez. But I think, and this is Sir Lunch from the Pirate Podcast Radio Show. Thank you. I think there's a fundamental lapse in the communication between witnesses and users. I mean, if you were able to do that on video, right, and then post that, and then new users and, minnows and dolphins could see that speech like from you video, more people would probably be more willing to get involved. But as it stands, and not completely, most witnesses aren't very visually vocal. So they're not putting themselves on video. They're not really documenting what it means to be a witness, how that journey starts and all that stuff. So it's just a disconnect between the people at the bottom and then people looking at witnesses, because we don't even understand what it means to be a witness fundamentally. And if we were shown fundamentally like what it means to be a witness in a different way, then more people would probably be involved and be like, oh, I could get behind something like that. Because to us, witnesses are people who just sit behind computers who let their computer do something. But in reality, witnesses are people who really want to make a change for the chain. They really want to do something. They really want to empower people. Well, some of them up there are. So I think that's a message that probably has to be pushed more to the consumers, so they turn from consumers into doers. But that's just my opinion.
Well, you're totally, but you're missing one point here. Right now, the top 20 witnesses, I don't know them all. I don't know exactly what they do, but this is like a specialized thing. There's one that takes care of a community liaison. There's Tim Cliff. There's Jerry Banfield is the marketing guy, the used sales car guy. Gandalf the Great is the infrastructure provider. 123 guy is the one who provides servers for the other witnesses, blah blah blah. So it is like I don't like the circle jerk thing, but Steemit Inc. choose those guys, and those guys are good at what they do, and some of them I don't know. But then there's this. You say the witnesses are disconnected from the users. That's not true. The top 20 are disconnected. But you have 14,000 witnesses, actually. Most of them are users that don't even advertise. They're witnessing. They're just trying to mine Steem. And there's people like the witnesses you have here today. Sir Cork is stealing the money from the reward pool to help people in the outside world. That's beautiful. Patrice is keeping this, is helping us keep this place clean. Guilty Parties has his veteran projects, but also he's a they're a very human group, and they give support. They help other witnesses. So the witnesses you have here today is I think we are the witnesses that, to get in touch with the user base, are trying to fill this gap that you spoke about. And I feel the gap is economical. What's happening is there is not enough voting going down to the user base. Everything is getting stuck in the top. Okay? And that's the reason, for example, I just started an initiative. I created a user, and I'm promoting that user. Every post this user does, that money I will use it to list delegations, to empower dust holders so they do fucking curation. That we need to do at a bigger scale. As I say, my posts don't pay much. So for example, that pilot project, I can pay 3 delegations of 500 SP for 1 month. Okay, that's not much. If much people so collaborate, if we can empower all the minnows to give a vote of 500 SP to content they like, they will feel like they are curating. Because what happens today? Minos don't curate, they just sign in a trial because they consider the BP to be worthless. And since there's no engagement in low-level curation, the money from is getting stuck in the circle jerking. The BP is being unused. And when you have a $500 boat power, you bought one or twice a day, and you give $2,000. But that's not what we need. We need to do a smaller rewards to a bigger population. So this gets moving. Economies move when the money moves. Otherwise, they stagnate and they die. Go and look at the market. Go look at this ICO, the bearish. It's a stock, doesn't move. It's a flat line. It's dead because the money doesn't move. That's what's happening with Steemit.
Well, I guess I said it a little bit wrong, or maybe, but I didn't mean that witnesses were disconnected from the minnows, but minnows don't understand what witnesses are there for. And to address guilty, I don't mean make videos about how to become rich off of being a witness. I'm a vlogger, so I mean like those are the hard struggles of being a witness and all those things, so people can get that in-depth view of what it actually means to be a witness. Because I mean, I know if you post videos about being a witness and all the good stuff, people are just going to want to jump on. They're not going to know what the hell they're doing. They just want to make money. But if you actually document the hard times, which will weed out the people who are just looking for the get rich, whatever, then you may actually show what it means to be a witness. And that may strengthen the connection between witnesses and minnows and new users and things like that.
Still launch, I didn't meant witnesses and that you say that the witnesses and the minnows are disconnected, but there is a disconnection. Minnows don't understand. Minnows think, because of Jerry Banfield, that being a witness is a money-making machine. This is a problem. This is a problem. I started in the Hispanic community. I started a campaign for 2 months explaining all the community what the hell a witness does. I think Sir Cork and Patrice remember when I posted my witness intention. At that time, I was in heavy campaigning to get support from the money in the English side, in the English-speaking side, and from the community I wanted to build on the Hispanic side. And something I had to do. I own a web radio station too, and this is all media people here. that web radio to call people in, but also to explain. I was hosting, doing live curation at the time. I was just hosting shows, so minnows could ask questions. So we could, the South American witnesses that are active on the platform could explain, could wash away this wrong image we are getting. This is how you mine Steem, you become a witness. That's bullshit. You have to be top 20 to become a witness millionaire. That's the short answer. If they remain tied, we're screwed.
Yeah, I'm down to 61, I think, right now. I dropped a little bit with some shuffling of SP withdrawals and shuffling of voter follows. And I also lost a vote recently from Nutroso to Utopia, which Utopia is a good project, so I have no hard feelings over that one. Yeah, it hurt my standing, but and I'll be honest, I'm not looking to get into the top 20 anytime soon. I have enough work being down in the lower 50s. I would like to gain about 10 more places and kind of hang around there for a while until I get my get projects going and everything working.
I'm just going to say that I think we should bring the politics to the front and make it okay. Well, right. Politics happen in the background, and not a lot of people, know about all the stuff that goes on in the background. And for the most part, it's because the people at the top, the very top, don't want it to get out. But I think if we had a more public way to display these things that didn't really offend anyone, then I think it would be a more fair game, and it would give people more of a chance to meet their witnesses. Because right now, you really only have the super top witnesses that are getting real exposure. And that's who all these new people are getting exposed to. And they don't know the difference between a piece of shit on the ground or top witness. So, all right. So, if you guys didn't know, and this is going to be like the shining beacon for the Pirate Podcast Radio Show, because we are pirates. We're not minnows, we're not dolphins, we're not whales. We're the people on the ships, and we see all the fish. So basically, there's a lot of talks that go on in the background with the big ups and the circle jerks. That's how circle jerks happen, right? People talking to themselves and creating the little circles. What we need to do is go to those people and then ask them, hey, we want to bring the politics to the front. And by that, I mean, if you don't like a witness, you should be able to post about it specifically and have good evidence as to why you don't like that witness, just not shit talking, right? And put that out there. Other people can then see that, and that witness should then put out information rebuttaling that, and then also have their supporters. And we should have maybe, now I know this is hard to implement because it takes not only a social understanding, but a technical aspect as well, but have like a voting thing every, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, because witnesses, what they do is they get up to the top, they get in the circle jerk, and they get real fucking comfortable. But if they actually had to lobby every 3 to 6 months for that position, there wouldn't be any comfortability there, because they would actually have to do some work. But again, that comes with a lot of other things that need to support it. And again, I'm all for witnesses being more vocal to the users. So instead of explaining their witness per se, asking questions and then responding to those questions in video form, and just touching base with users on like a more human level, and then gradually getting to what they do as a witness and things like that. But just to keep on point, there's politics in the background. We all know this. Like, a lot of people don't want to. They just don't want to be ousted. But hey, fuck that shit. As a pirate, you're not a fish or a dolphin or anything. You just call it how it is. And it's politics. It should be on the front. People should be able to vote. People should be able to voice their opinions without getting flagged, or not harshly flagged. And that's how it should go, because this is an anarchistic platform. And, just in nature, we should be able to do what we want. And voting, it should be something that we want to do. But that's just me. And I'm just a pirate king. And what the hell do I know?
Well, Sir Kirk, I think that the problem is there's dead witnesses in front of us. I'm 118, I think, but in reality, I'm like 94 because I have a shitload of dead witnesses in front of me. Between your position and mine, there's like 20 dead witnesses. But what actually happens, and no one gives a fuck, is the way the system is done. When a dead witness time is dead witness time to witness a block, if it's not available, it just goes to the next one. There's never the witness missed the block, but the block is never missed. There's someone else who catches it. So when you are in position 92, but in reality you are 88 or whatever the real position is, you are actually in that position, and that's the reason no one in Steem in Steemit, no one cares about fixing that. Economically, it doesn't make a difference. It makes a difference for us because we are not so visible. It's complicated to find us, to vote for us, and all this. That I agree, but that's the reason it's never been fixed. But once again, let's go to the GitHub. Let's take a look. Let's propose an let's make code for expirity date for the witness vote, and propose and submit the change. That's it.
Someone should do me a favor. Make me a bot that goes through the witness list and finds all the dead witnesses and compiles them nicely for us. And then all the witnesses right can make a pitch as to these are the dead witnesses. This is why you minnows and lower people need to help us make a push to get these people out of the way and get more people on the lower levels vocally saying, hey, we need all these dead witnesses out of the way, so these people up here who keep talking to us and making things better for us can get in there. I mean, and I think if we have a push by the witnesses and then a push with the bottom, there has to be some kind of budge to say, okay, there's just a bunch of dead witnesses up there, and that's not good for the system. Even though it doesn't really affect how it goes because it'll just get passed, just having that many dead witnesses is a bad look. We should then make a push to have more active witnesses up, and then the dead witnesses kind of fall to the dead zone. So they're at the end of the list, and then you have, the more active up there. So I mean, that would kind of take a push from the bottom and the top, but it could happen.
I'm looking for it. Keep looking.
Very true. With that being said, everyone should take the approach that witnesses are politicians and they should be there to represent you if you have someone that needs representing. And you should not be afraid to talk to them. You should actually be afraid to not talk to them and get things done. So if you're not talking to your local witness, what are you doing and who are you talking to? Stop talking to yourself in the mirror, you know, because that's not going to get shit done. You're not doing it. They're doing it. So pick up that phone, call them today, and wait for at least 12 hours. And if they don't pick up in 12 hours, change your witness list and move on. And if you don't, we'll come down, we'll hunt you, we'll burn your house down, we'll kill your children, we'll take your account, and we'll vote for the right witness for you. Have a wonderful day because we love you. SteemStars.
It's going to depend on what kind of metrics you're talking about. I honestly have voted for people that I know that support that either run projects or support other projects that are important to the community, or at least that I feel are important to the community. One of the things that would be great, I know Tim Cliff, he does the weekly witness updates, but it would be nice to have a page on a website somewhere where we could kind of condense some of these metrics down and see who's voting for who, and not, we can do that already, but added to that, what projects do those people support? You know, because sometimes I scratch my head when I'm looking at who's voting for who, because I don't know why. You know, why are they voting for this person? And then I can look and I can say, oh, okay, so they're voting for this other project and they're supporting this initiative or that initiative. And I think having a way to visualize that would make a lot more sense. And we can also see who's not supporting anything.
The Marky Mark on Steem, and as everyone probably knows here, I run Build a Whale. I'm a witness for a while now, position 40. And that's pretty much me. I do a lot of community stuff. Most of my focus is related to curation, abuse, and stuff like that. But I go into a lot of different things. I'm actually not into poker. I mean, I've played the game a lot, but I just have a bunch of people that play poker, and I support their stuff, like the Steam Poker League and stuff. So I'm always and that's a funny thing because a lot of people don't like being steamed, and I never quite got that. To me, that's like sharing and like engagement. But I was re-steaming somebody that's really big on Steam, and I used to re-steam a lot of his stuff, and he's like got in the channel and started complaining about some woman re-steaming everything he did. It's like, dude, I re-steam you all the time because I thought that was a way of supporting, and he's like, no, it's annoying. So I don't re-steam as much now, but that was kind of interesting. Yeah, yesterday was awesome, Patrice, because now 3 out of 6 of them have stopped, and that's 1,000 posts a day that are now not even being done. I don't know if everyone's aware of this, but yesterday Patrice was talking to me about monitoring cap and how frustrating it is, how they're posting 200 to 900 posts a day. So I put a post together and asked a bunch of people to help out, and a bunch of people came in and started flagging their stuff. I used up all my votes for the day, and Bernie and Tammin came in and gave them the finishing blow to bring them to -1, so they're not visible. And then now they stopped posting it completely. So that's combined together, all of them post around 2,000 posts a day, comments and posts, which are now pretty much half dead. So that was a big win yesterday.
Well, that's a temporary solution, but probably they will just come back with another name and start a different way of mining the reward pool. Something that's very important, and we need to understand. I've been speaking about economics because we are in an economic hurdle right now, and I'm concentrated on that. What we need to understand is that the Steemit economy is right now needs to change. Whatever happens after the BTC correction or not correction, we need to stop mining the reward pool. Right now, the only thing we're doing is taking from the reward pool and powering up the money is a stock. The stock, and the only is the reward pool, is the inflation. We need to remember the reward pool is inflationary fund that is used to give away. It's not sustainable forever. We need to develop products and services. If the Steem only has value to mine the reward pool, the inflation fund, remember this is inflation. Every time we're mining the reward pool, we're destroying the Steem blockchain. So we need to move the economical model from multiplying or money by mining the reward pool into exchanging by products and services. That is key for the future of Steem. This is what every witness with a view in the long term of the blockchain technology that can replace governments in the world should be concentrated into creating exchange for goods and services, not for other tokens, not from mining the reward pool. That is key for the future.
There's a lot of things coming in right now that are related to that I know of, storefronts and things like that, ways of spending Steem outside of buying up votes. And that's a key thing to make Steem survive, is having other avenues. And there's a few of us working on things that we're going to release that will offer that. Sorry, Beans, for stepping in.
No, you're cool. I wasn't sure. I thought my push to talk didn't work. I was just gonna say, because you're kind of talking about something on the podcast, but I'm actually reading a piece of the white paper right now, which kind of talks about that idea that that the system could be used the same way as Bitcoin is used and just be mined, except it's kind of like it says it's kind of like if a CEO of a company decided to stop paying the salaries of the people that are part quit their jobs, go to another company, and the company would become worthless. It's basically like, but I mean, if everyone is just to treat this as a mining thing where you reap rewards for yourself, then that's basically what this becomes. It's no longer rewarding the people who bring value, the autonomous company, if you want to call it that.
I think we also need to empower people who come on the blockchain and then empower them to start businesses from the blockchain and then go into the real world, right? To make up for the people who maybe don't have businesses but can start here and then grow into a business. Having more homegrown and organic Steem-based businesses and just blockchain-based businesses would also fill that gap. But
we are forgetting something. We have a wallet-to-wallet transaction. Why we need to go through gateways and stuff? For example, no. But wait, Kirk. We are organizing in Maracaibo, one big city in Venezuela. Next Thursday, there's gonna be one bar in that city that will only accept a Steem. Okay, and the way we are doing this is people will take their drinks and they do a transaction wallet to wallet to this bar account that I helped creating a few days ago. We have a primitive means in that we can start using it. If we start using it, someone will develop what we need, which is a more dynamic tool. You don't need to log in, blah, 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 a QR code or whatever. But we have the means to do that today. So what are we waiting for? We just need to believe in this and go all in. Come on. We need to really trust. I feel that right now there's like, okay, this is gonna survive or not. I'm gonna invest on this or not. Either you trust it, either you don't, or you become a consumer. Keep blogging and keep hoping for votes. You know, it's engagement. What we're missing is engagement and thinking out of the box, using the tools we have, even if they're primitive or whatever, to make things happen. That's all.
I think we also need to bring people who think out of the box together. I think they're spread out. So you have coders on one side, you have entertainers on the other side, you have people artistic, people who can edit.
Friend, this place is full of people thinking out of the box. They just don't have money. That's the problem. There's a shitload. I have found so many people that thinks like me here. There's like everyone who is here today has something to offer out of the box. I know many of you from other hangouts. The way you think, the things you're trying to do, the improvements you're trying to bring. But I have the feeling most of us were waiting for someone to develop the solution we need. When we just need to try it, you know. And also these people thinking out of the box. But I don't think we have big stakeholders here today. But the big stakeholders, these people, and they should reward these people proposing and trying to do things, and they should support them if they want for a long term of a Steem blockchain economy to thrive. Exactly, actually. There's no spoon, there's no box. That's the best thing I've seen in the chat today.
Well, my name is Crazy Krista, obviously. I've been on Steemit for about 5 months now. 3 months of which I've been over in wheelchairs. I'm a moderator there. So I have a lot of fun with that community. Yeah, my blog is kind of all over the place. I haven't been posting as much lately as I would like to because I've been pretty busy doing mod stuff, but I'm just glad to be here. I didn't know this was a new station, so hello everyone.
Cool. Hi everybody. I am Portuguese. I am probably the newest witness around. I just started like almost 1 week, so I'm pretty new. I am trying to have my servers running quite well and everything set up properly. So I decided to go on this because I am the developer of this sound. I chose Steem blockchain for hosting the data for this sound because I really loved the idea. I joined like 5 months ago. It was 9th July. And I really enjoyed the community and everything around Steem. I think it's a really nice idea to empower everyone and to make everyone able to profit from their work, which is quite cool. And so I am a musician myself and a DJ and a music producer. So I am a developer and also an artist. And I wanted to put my added value on technology in favor of musicians around the world. I really think that it's really important to give the musicians the ability to be able to make money out of their work, because the way things are right now, it's kind of difficult for us to make a living by making music. And I want to change that. I have a lot of projects on that, based on that idea. One of them is this sound, and it's in alpha stage, hoping to reach beta later this month. and I will market that project in the music industry to bring a lot of musicians to the platform. I think it will be really cool. And I want to do other projects as well to allow a more fair and just way of sharing the rewards from music with the authors. And it's been quite interesting, because I've never thought that I could actually do something like this. I just realized that with blockchain we can do almost anything, and it's really cool. I am really enjoying this, and that's why I decided to be a witness on Steem and try to figure out other ways that I can help the community and be part of it. So yeah, I think it's a long story already. You are probably tired of hearing from me, but yeah, this is PRC. Yes, I think I am right below you. I don't have any clue how I could do that, actually. Not yet. Right now, I have this sound. This sound is right now the main project. I am working on a bigger project, which is called Emanate, and the site is Emanate Live. We will be having a crowd sale around next year, and it will be some project based on empowering music production workflow on the blockchain, and securing all the rights of everybody involved in the materialization of a song. So it will be a really interesting project. But right now it's only on the go, and we are building a prototype as well, and so on. So those are my main projects right now. I am just helping out. I translated DTube to Portuguese and so on. And yeah, we are usually helping each other, but I'm not part of the projects, and neither they are part of this sound. It's different. Yeah. D for me means decentralized, and yeah, I think it's the idea for everyone.
Yo, Cork, can I just do a quick plug? Yo, shout out Team Steem. Yo, Team Steem is a great guy. Yeah, he's busy, but he's willing to help people who's got the potential. He's been helping me. Love you, Team Steem. Woo woo. Go Team Steem. I think it's we're gonna get a culture, right? So right now we got the tech and all that good stuff, and eventually with that will come a culture and how we talk, how we do things, and the culture will be adapted by more people. I mean, because cryptocurrency is a culture, whether we like it or not. Well, once Bitcoin does its job, right? Bitcoin literally has to do its job, and it's doing its job, but it's going to break through for us. And then once more people are actually open to getting into cryptocurrency, then they'll be down to talk about the slang and all the other stuff. Well, I think we're missing a, a fundamental thing here, which is Bitcoin is doing its job in the sense for the general masses. If you are sitting at home and all of a sudden you don't know nothing about blockchain technology or cryptocurrency, and all of a sudden this article about Bitcoin pops up, and you're like, oh wow, 11,000. Well, to us in the core like group of people who actually want to see things change and know what's going on, it's not really doing much. But marketing wise, it's bringing more people into the conversation of cryptocurrency and all that good stuff. So I would say that Bitcoin is not doing its job for the more technical people who know what Bitcoin is really about. But from a marketing standpoint, there's a lot more people on the internet who are getting on the internet and seeing more articles about Bitcoin, which is then drawing them into the whole crypto space. So on one hand, I believe that Bitcoin is doing its job every time it reaches a new height, and news outlets are pushing to talk about it and what the case may be. That just generally brings more people into the crypto space. It's because we're not the only coin in the space, I believe. Like Beans is right, we are kind of a cult where once you get into Steem, like Steem and Bitcoin and a couple other like major coins are the only ones that exist unless you're a trader. But we also have to get an understanding that there's so many coins out there that have communities, so many different purposes that like we as a Steem community need to help Steem rise above those other coins. And then once we get up, because like right now, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, Ethereum, they're all the top, right? So we have to get into like the second generation or the second tier of altcoins that are being looked at after the first tier. And then that way we get talked about more. Because again, before we do anything as a community, we have to show that as a community, we are worth something as a whole. Because there's a lot of tokens out there that are worth more than our token at the end of the day, right? You actually have to kind of dig a little deep into the Steem token to figure out there's a community. And then get into that community and then get involved. But just for a token's sake, there's a bajillion tokens.